Good morning. Happy Friday. Day one of Tony Robbins UPW Virtual is in the books, and my shoulders are sore from having my arms up like this and jumping up and down. So it's really interesting to do it virtually. There's a difference in that you're not in the room. I mean, and obviously being in the room, there's a difference between being in an arena and watching a concert on television. The cool thing about this virtually is Tony's on a big screen just talking right to you. I mean, so it's incredibly intimate. So when it comes to a, personal development seminar, this is actually a really cool way to do it virtually, because the person's right there and you can interact with people very quickly on chat. So there's a lot more interaction with, the group. We're put into pods, and then each pod has got crew and trainers and senior leaders. So, interesting how crisis breeds new invention, and it breeds new technologies and new ways of doing things. So I was curious as to how this was going to be, and it's actually really good. It's really interesting. So my big takeaway from day one for you, and of course there was many, but this is the one that hit me the most for today. We're not here to fix you because you're not broken. Let's just resonate on that for a second. Nobody is broken. People are just lost. We've either been conditioned in a certain way because of something that happened that has caused us to not respond in the way that we would like, or we've been traumatized, or we just lost our way. And it's easy to have that happen where over a period of time, you're like a boat on a river with no oars, and all of a sudden you're close to the waterfall. And you look around and you go, oh my goodness, I wish I woulda or I shoulda. And that happens. That happens when you get wrapped up in life. That happens when people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan, right? So the biggest thing that I got from day one that I think we all need to really take time to remember is nobody is here to fix you because you are not broken. If you are looking, that's awesome, because we're always looking. Life is a journey, not a destination. This is something that we're always working on. So if currently you're headed in a direction that is the wrong direction, okay, you're just lost. That happens. When you go on a journey, every now and then you get lost. That's a great way to find yourself. But all you need to do is raise your hand and ask for directions. And there's lots of people out there that are willing and able to help you with that. And this is one of those things. So as we get going along, I think a lot of times we start to look at ourselves as though we got many things wrong. I have this, I have that. We love labels, right? I have this syndrome, I have that problem, I have, and I'm not diminishing any of these things, but the labels make it part of our identity, and that's really the challenge. If all of a sudden we say I'm ADHD, or I'm PTSD, or I'm manic depressive, or I'm bipolar, and again, I'm not saying that those aren't real clinical things, but the label makes it our identity, and once it becomes our identity, then it defines us. And it doesn't have to. The events of your life don't have to define everything about who you are. We control our response to them, so we can make it so that those things make us stronger, not weaker, and better, not worse. And we're not broken, we're just lost, we're just looking for the next thing, which is what life is really all about. We're either growing or we're dying. So we're always looking for the next thing. So in a way, everybody's lost. In a way, everybody's looking for what's the next step for me. And at the end of the day, we're all looking for the same thing. We're all looking for love. We're all looking for acceptance. We're all looking for what we think is going to make us feel good. And remember, we can decide at any time how we feel. So you can kind of go full circle with this whole thing, but at the end, we all want the same stuff, and we have the same two fears. We fear a lot of things, but it comes down to two things. We fear we're not going to be enough, and because of that, we won't be loved. And people who are really lost are operating out of fear. They've let fear take them over, and so that is what is defining them, is their fear of failure, their fear of success, their fear of loss, their fear of being hurt, their fear of any of these things, and that fear defines their actions, and then their actions are actions that aren't consistent with what they really want. So when we run into people that are in that type of situation, we need to just remember that that's what's going on, that they're operating out of fear. And when we're dealing with our own life, I just think that is incredibly powerful, whether you're dealing with your own life or anybody else's, to just remember we're not broken, we're just lost. And everybody's on a journey, so we all need directions. And we're all good at stuff and bad at other stuff, right? So that's why we all need each other. Some people are good at their physical body, but they're not that good at relationships. Some people are great at relationships, but they're not that good at finances. Some people are good at finances, but they're not that good at their physical body. When I go to these events, they actually pick trainers based upon that. I mean, everybody has to live by a certain set of standards, but trainers, they spread them across the board because different ones have strong points than other ones. So if you're having a challenge with a certain area, then there's certain trainers that are going to be more equipped than others because they're ones that have struggled with that issue and have conquered it. You know, the C student can teach you a lot more than the A student, right? So at the end of the day, we all want the same things. And the question is, are you operating out of fear or are you operating out of inspiration? And when you're looking for what you want and you're not focused on the how, you're focused on the why, now you're not operating out of fear, you're operating out of inspiration. And when you're operating out of inspiration, then you're going to do a whole much better job at going after your goals and creating the outcomes that you're looking for. And then remember, we get that power of momentum. So our takeaway, my big takeaway from day one, and there'll be more as we go forward, you're not broken. None of us are. You just need help. And we all need help. We're all looking. We all need a map. We all need a map to different things. That's why we're supposed to be together, is because we're all looking for each other. We're all looking for somebody to help us out, and together is how we do this. That's how it's all supposed to work, because we're all looking for the same thing. If we find the people that help us and we can help them, then what's going to happen? We're going to have a relationship, and that relationship is going to be based on love and trust, and that at the end of the day, it's what we want. So have a great day, everybody. And on this Friday, I really want to hammer home that one idea. None of you are broken. We all just need a little help, and that's what we're all here for. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other. Have a great Friday.